Okay, that just gives me enough understanding of what's going on and where you're at. And I've done that myself. I started my journey with Bitcoin probably in around 2017. I thought, okay, Bitcoin, nice, it's this breakthrough in technology, gives people freedom, allows self-sovereignty of their money, self-custody. But I thought I was too late into the game, and I thought like, well, there'll be better options after that. There'll be more advanced blockchains. Bitcoin is just this first generation primitive blockchain. I'll wait for the next one. And I had to go for a number of other coins, shit coins, you name them, to learn my lesson. There is no second best. There's Bitcoin, and then you have proof of stake, pretty much a modern version of banking, which is still centralized, still manipulated. If something is minted before, it means that somebody owns 100% of it before they make a decision to distribute it anyhow. With that intro, I would like to give you basically a little bit background of what we're doing with Sovereign and what we're building with Sovereign. Sovereign is a DeFi protocol. So some Bitcoiners, like hardcore toxic maxics, would say that there is no such thing as DeFi on Bitcoin. Well, that's not true. I'll tell you why in a second. The good thing that came out of different ecosystems like Ethereum, the best thing that came out of Ethereum was EVMs, Ethereum Virtual Machine, which is actually something that allows smart contracts on Bitcoin as well. So in 2018, there was the first efforts to create a side chain, a layer 2 side chain called Rootstock, and that's basically merge mining, so secured by Bitcoin network, proof of work algorithm that is providing you all the EVM functionalities. With Sovereign, we built a full stack, like an alpha version, a full stack of DeFi applications. So liquidity mining, staking, trading, margin trading, spot trading, and all sorts of different kind of trading activities. And we kind of were exploring that and learning as we went as well. So we recently started to experiment with our flagship project called Zero, and I'll come to this in a second. But effectively, what this slide is all about is that actually the assertion that you can't build on Bitcoin is very wrong. You can build on Bitcoin, and you could, we were able to build on Bitcoin for 5 years now. So that's the message. So you're able to apply a great invention of smart contracts coming from Ethereum onto the hard asset, the sound money, Bitcoin. With Rootstock, that's what we're using as our layer 2. You might have heard about Liquid, about Lightning. Rootstock is a similar technology. It's a federation of nodes that is running as a layer 2 and allows us EVM, allows smart contracts. So Sovereign is technically working on, we call it slow-fi, because we are second to market. We are waiting for all the bugs and all the things to be tested on Ethereum, and when the DeFi on Ethereum actually got bombarded from left, right, and center, we said, okay, now this open source code is working fine. We'll pick it up. We'll start working with that on top of Bitcoin. Yeah, we started building this whole thing. 2 years ago, we started working on Zero, which we opened in July last year as a gated code. So basically only people from waitlist could get access to that. And we built a protocol that allows you to be your own bank. So basically the idea of Zero is that you're able to provide yourself a non-custodial loan backed by your Bitcoin that you get in stablecoins. So at any point, you're able to put a collateral in Bitcoin, and for every $100 of stablecoins that you want to take out, you need to over collateralize it. So you need to put in minimum $110 worth of Bitcoin. The recommendation is to put actually more than 110%. Excuse me. To keep your loans secure, we encourage that you maintain your collateralization ratio over 180%. 180 to 100, you're safe. You're never going to liquidate. The liquidation is an event where the price of Bitcoin falls down. There's a flash crash, and we've seen those before. And all of a sudden, your collateral ratio falls under the margin, and that triggers liquidation. The funds from the liquidation are distributed between anyone who's staking their what we call sovereign dollars, stable coins, in a stability pool. So, as of now, there are two things you can do with the loan that you take, the stable coin loan that you take. So when you take a loan, when you put your Bitcoin as a collateral, you give yourself a loan effectively in sovereign dollars. You can do two things. You can either, well, more than two. But one of the things you can do is put those stable coin sovereign dollars in the stability pool, and this exposes you to any sort of rewards from liquidation events because you're securing the protocol. Or you can convert those sovereign dollars to any other stable coin and exit the market, and basically keep your wealth in a truly decentralized Bitcoin-backed stable coins. So it's not BUSD. We know Binance has any problems. It's not Tether because it's centralized. It's not NSA. Sorry, USDC. You know, all those other stable coins that have their issues. So we're producing something wild, and the inception of Sovereign was meant to be always KYC free. So it's a distributed collective of around 40 people working remotely. I had the pleasure of working with them for last year, yeah, we treat privacy as a right, as a human right. So we don't think that KYC is necessary. But we have to compromise because we're living in a reality that's actually quite demanding when it comes to knowing your customer. So we'll be releasing something called Sovereign Financial, where you'll be able to use your sovereign dollar on the credit card, or on the payment card. That will be pretty cool thing to do, but for that we need KYC. So we were trying different ways of doing that without KYC. Currently not possible. I mean, there is a way to do that with a Swiss provider that allows you to have a card or like with a limit of 1,000 euros or something like that, but that's not what we want to do. So effectively, we will introduce some KYC to do sort of financial. There will be a side project for Sovereign. From technical perspective, as I mentioned before, it's pretty much all that EVM has to offer. So, you know, everything with smart contracts, DAOs, NFTs, that's all available on Bitcoin. You don't have to use ordinals or, you know, any other inscriptions in the mainnet. There is side chains for that. And side chains that are also secured by Bitcoin. So in this sense, you know, I think it's a project that has a lot to offer. I'm obviously shilling that because I'm working over there, but also, you know, it's something that if you haven't heard about it yet, you may want to check it out because it's running on the sound money, and the products it's building are pretty decent as well. I think that's pretty much it for my presentation. I can't remember if there's any more. No, but just yeah, be sovereign, stay sovereign. You can find us on the social media. My name is Rivers, so you can find me as Rivers on Twitter or Telegram, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.